Apparently, the Nintendo Switch SDK has been leaked, and this happened over on 4chan yesterday, but it's recently been pretty much confirmed to be legitimate by reliable sources. Basically, people who also have had access to an SDK from the Nintendo Switch. I know you're asking, what is an SDK? It's a software development kit, and this is an official one. There have been other indie developers who have said, we don't even have access to this type of SDK. This is the official, confidential type SDK, one that you have to be pretty in with Nintendo to get a hold of. And now it looks like it's out there and it is making the rounds everywhere. Basically any site you could think of that puts up cracked games or wares or torrents or anywhere. They have it. It's up. You can download it. You can take a look at it. There's a lot of documentation, too, that's kind of interesting. It mentions things like transferring save data, reading and writing to game cards, even retail ones, which is weird. Although the SDK that they have showcased here is one prior to launch. So it's possible that that could be relating to development cards they have that were never actually released at retail. Even though it does say retail in the documentation, now that I think about it. It's very weird because when I looked at one on mine, it appeared to just be a standard flash chip. That doesn't mean you can't write to it. It just seems weird because that kind of goes against what Nintendo has told us so far. They also talk about a guest login option. Again, this is part of the SDK documentation, which the best way I can describe it is that you can essentially log in on someone else's Switch and use your save data and kind of upload it to their Switch as well. It's very interesting. It wasn't described well in the documentation. But really, what does this mean that this software development kit is now out there and public? Well, it means someone's definitely in trouble. That's for sure. 4chan is anonymous, obviously. You can go on there. You can pretty much post as an anonymous user. But there are times when companies will watermark these SDKs. I don't know if it's watermarked, but if it is, and Nintendo finds out who leaked this, there's going to be a serious legal issue going on here. Nintendo could probably sue for quite a bit and damage that person, like financially, completely. They could pretty much ruin them. So I kind of hope for their sake it's not watermarked, but hey, this person leaked it. They know what they're getting themselves into. So anyway, the software development kit, what does that mean for the Switch? Well, it doesn't mean a ton if you're thinking that this is going to now all of a sudden hack the Switch. No, these are tools that let people create games for the Switch. So this is more for the homebrew scene. We still need to figure out how to get Unside code to run on the Switch and kind of unlock it and open it up for everyone. But the SDK will at least give people the tools or the know-how who maybe have designed homebrew in the past for things like, say, the PSP or the original Wii. Maybe it gives them the tools to create some new games that are kind of fan-made for the Switch. So when that day does come, because trust me, with the interest in the Switch right now as a super powerful handheld unit, the modding community has their eye on this system and they're trying to crack it. When they do, we now have an SDK that people can design their own homebrew game. Now, I'm not going to post any links to the SDK, but if you look, you can find it. I'm not going to post links because I'm sure that would go against guidelines, or Nintendo would just take this video down. So I'm not even going to post them, but it's very easy to find, I'll say that. And I do know some people will say, well, they're not real, but they do even talk about the news channel that was just added in this SDK that is aged before the Switch's release. So it does look legitimate. People have said it's legitimate. They've confirmed its authenticity. This is just one more step for the Switch to eventually get homebrew. This probably will not allow people to crack the system. It's just there for when it is cracked. Maybe we get some homebrew games. But yes, guys, that's it for now. Just know that the SDK for the Switch, the software development kit, is out there and anyone can look at it. Programmers who have not signed up with Nintendo or indie developers who have and now they know a little more about the Switch. That's it for now. I'll see you guys next time.